Hi everyone, I thought I would send you a video this month to explain what's happening in the Oakville, Burlington, and Milton real estate markets. And with June's results now in, I'm going to be able to give you kind of a recap of what's happened in the first half of this year. As I'm sure you've noticed, the market has changed. There are many more for sale signs around your neighborhood, and houses are staying on the market substantially longer. And this is in complete contrast to what we experienced earlier this year, particularly from late January through March. And at that point, there were so few homes for sale, there was such pent-up demand, and most houses were selling in multiple offers with anywhere between 5 and 25 buyers, sometimes even more, bidding on the same house. And the resulting sale price was often 20 to 30% higher than asking price, and buyers had to remove conditions such as financing and inspection in order to stay competitive. The real estate market was actually starting to correct itself with the buildup of inventory before the government introduced its Fair Housing Plan and its 15% foreign buyer tax. But once that plan was introduced, it did create a wait-and-see attitude in the market. And we are now definitely experiencing a psychological slowdown because of the plan, as well as, you turn on the radio and all you hear is nothing but negative news in the media. And what's happening is buyers are actually holding off to see if house prices are going to drop as they did in Vancouver. So this is what actually happened. The first has to do with sellers. Sellers who wanted to cash out and take equity out of their houses. Many put their homes on the market, mostly in April and May, and some continue to do so now because they feel the market is at its peak. So we now have much more supply. I suspect, however, that a lot of this supply is not necessarily people needing to sell, but rather wanting to sell and to see if they can cash out. And I think a lot of these houses will come off the market when their houses don't sell. And just to put things into perspective, a balanced market is when there are 5 to 6 months worth of inventory. And this means that it would take 5 or 6 months for the market to absorb those amount of houses, assuming no additional houses came to market. And earlier this year in the peak, we actually had less than half a month's worth of inventory. And today we sit at 91 days or 3 months worth. So we are technically still in a seller's market, but I have to say the market is definitely transitioning. Now, the second reason for the slowdown is the buyers, and we are seeing buyers, especially those who experienced battle fatigue, having to compete over and over again earlier this year, now sitting on the fence. And as I mentioned, they're waiting to see if prices drop. But here's the thing. Yes, there are many more houses on the market. I love the fact that buyers now have more choice. Not only do they have more choice, but they can think about a house for more than 10 minutes before putting it in an offer, and are now more often than not able to have financing and inspection conditions in their offer. And I think this is great news. Now, regarding the real estate market in general, house prices typically increase in a balanced market anywhere between 5 or 8% year over year. And you're going to see in this chart, and this represents the average sale price of Oakville homes over the last 10 years. And the red line is where house prices should have been had they stayed at this 5 or 8%. And you're going to see that, or you can see, that as of 2015 onwards, house prices have far exceeded what they should have been. June's results are actually in, and the numbers do show that that the number of sales were actually down. Listings were up year over year, but there were actually fewer listings in June than there were in May. And the average and median prices are up year over year, but they are down substantially from May. Okay, and the prices dropped anywhere between 5 and 11%, depending on which city we look at and whether we look at the average or the median price. And I have the stats posted below or on our website at teamgonin.com. Now, it's important to remember that if you are buying and selling within the same market, that's a good thing. The thing is that when you're selling now, you need to price your home realistically, you need to anticipate that you will need to negotiate, and you should expect that your house will probably take a lot longer to sell. The craziness of earlier this year is gone, so you cannot expect that you're going to get as much for your house as your neighbor did when they sold their house in February or March. Okay? Now, today is also a fabulous time to buy. Not only will you not be paying the crazy prices of earlier this year, but you won't, you're not going to be in a lot of competition. I mean, I still had clients in competition last week, but the majority of you are going to be in competition. And what's really nice is that you're still going to be able to have financing and inspection conditions in your offer. And some homes that have been on a market for a substantially long time may actually prove to be a good deal. So if an owner, for instance, has been straddling both the markets and had bought, so that's to say that they bought in the really crazy market and are coming close to owning two homes, that person may actually be quite motivated than ever before, and you could actually get a deal. I'd like to end by saying that I'm so happy the market has changed. Earlier this year, it was crazy. We all hated it. And unlike what most people thought, the agents did not cause the market. And I am looking so forward to working in the summer and fall markets. If you are curious as to what your home is worth today, please contact us at Team Gonin. You can either contact us by email at info@teamgonin.com or call or text me at 416-779-4959. I'd like to wish your family and you a wonderful summer, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Thanks.